Okay, you guys, I am literally shaking right now. We have been waiting for this moment ever since the wedding, and I think the secret is finally out. You've seen the photo, right? Maddie posted that picture of the bloodwork papers on her story. And if you know anything about the Duggar girls, you know exactly what that means. I'm Joy, and honestly, I've been trying so hard to keep a straight face around Jason lately. Everyone calls him the rebel because of his tattoos and his house and his modern life. But seeing him hold that pregnancy test, it completely melted me. Today, I'm sitting down to give you the full update, not just the rumors, but the real conversations we've had behind the scenes. Is there really a baby on the way? How is Jim Bob actually reacting to Jason's non-traditional choices? And why do I think this baby to change everything for our family? Grab your coffee, because we have so much to catch up on. So let's just dive right into the photo that broke the internet. You guys sent it to me like 100 times. Maddie posted a simple picture of her arm with a bandage and some medical paperwork in the background. To a normal person, that might just look like a check up. But in the Duggar world, that is code for baby on board. I remember when I was pregnant with Gideon and even with Gunnar. That first bloodwork appointment was the moment it all felt real. Knowing Maddie, she is very intentional. She knows people are watching her stories like a hawk. Posting that was definitely a little wink to the fans. We sisters have a group chat, and let me tell you, when that photo went up, the notifications blew up. We were all asking, did she announce yet? It's so exciting because Jason and Maddie have been so open about enjoying their time as a couple. But I think they couldn't hide this excitement anymore. If that blood work is what we think it is, then the newest grandbaby is officially on the way. And I am here for it. No, picture Jason. You guys know my brother. He's the cool guy, the one building houses, riding motorcycles, and acting tough. But deep down, he is a total softie. I can just imagine the moment Maddie told him. I bet he didn't cry at first. He probably just sat there in shock with that big grin on his face that he does. Jason has always been an amazing with the nieces and nephews. He's the uncle who throws them in the air and lets them get away with things the parents wouldn't. Seeing him transition from Uncle JC to Dad is going to be wild. I feel like he was probably working on a job site, maybe covered in sawdust. When he got the news, I can see him dropping his tools and rushing home. That's just who he is. He loves hard. And knowing how much he adores Maddie, this baby is going to be the center of his universe. He's not going to be a hands-off dad like some of the men we grew up seeing. He's going to be in there changing diapers and building the crib himself. Everyone keeps using this word rebel for Jason. And honestly, it fits, but in the best way. Jason is not going to raise this kid the way we were raised. He's created a life that is so distinct from the big house rules. I mean, just look at the music he listens to or the way he dresses. I think Jason is going to be the kind of dad who encourages his kids to explore the world, not fear it. He's not going to put them in a box. I can already see him putting a tiny helmet on his toddler and taking them for a ride on his bike safely. Of course, he values freedom so much. He's worked so hard to build his own business and his own reputation separate from the show. So this baby isn't just another Duggar. This baby is the start of Jason's family. It's a fresh start. He's going to teach them hard work, yes, but he's also going to teach them that it's okay to be different. And that makes me so proud of him. Can we talk about Maddie for a second? She is literally glowing. Even before this pregnancy rumor started, her style has been such a breath of fresh air. She wears what makes her feel confident. Jeans, cute tops, things that are modern and trendy. She isn't trying to fit into that old modesty mold that was pushed on us for so long. If she is pregnant, I know her maternity style is going to be adorable. She's not going to be hiding under giant, frumpy dresses. She's going to embrace the bump. I think Maddie brings out this confidence in Jason too. She challenges him. She didn't grow up exactly like we did. So she brings this new perspective on parenting and marriage. She's going to be a mom who is very present, very affectionate, and very real. I don't think she's going to stress about having a perfectly quiet home. She's going to let that baby be loud and messy and happy. And honestly, we need more of that energy in this family. So let's do the math. They got married back in October, right? It was such a beautiful fall wedding. If this announcement is happening now in early 2026, the timing is actually perfect. It means they really did take that first year to just be Jason and Maddie. I know there was a lot of pressure on them right after the honeymoon. People were asking, when's the baby? Literally the day after the wedding. But they stood their ground. They traveled. They worked on their house. They just lived. And I think that is the best foundation for a baby. They aren't rushing into this because of duty. They're stepping into it because they're ready. If the baby comes in mid to late 2026, they'll have had almost 2 years of marriage under their belt. That's huge. It shows that they are making choices for themselves, not for the critics or the expectations. That makes this pregnancy, if it's real, so much sweeter. Okay, do you guys remember that podcast clip that went viral a few months ago? Jason and Maddie were asked about kids, and they famously said they were not trying and just wanted to enjoy marriage for a bit. The internet went crazy because, well, Duggars usually don't say that. A lot of people thought they were waiting 5 years or something. But here's the thing about our family, not trying doesn't mean preventing. I think they genuinely meant it at the time. They were busy traveling and setting up their life. But God's timing is always funny like that. I think that comment actually took the pressure off them. It made everyone stop asking for a few months, which probably gave them the privacy they needed when they did find out. So looking back, that not trying comment was kind of genius. It threw everyone off the scent. So now this announcement is a genuine surprise instead of just an expectation. If you follow Jason on Instagram, you know he has been grinding on his new house build. He's always posting updates of framing, electrical work, and dry walling. For a while, we just thought, oh, that's Jason, he loves to build. But now it all makes perfect sense. He wasn't just building a house, he was building a nest. I went over there recently, and the attention to detail is insane. He's rushing to get it done, and now I know why. There's a specific deadline! I bet you anything there is a room in that house that he's putting extra love into, the nursery. Jason is so practical. So seeing him hustle this hard to finish the project tells me he wants everything perfect before the baby arrives. He wants to bring his wife and baby home to a place that he built with his own hands. That is such a Jason move, and it's honestly so sweet. This is the topic everyone asks me about. Dad and Jason. Look, I'm not going to lie and say everything is perfectly smooth. Jason is independent. He makes his own money. He has his own business, and he doesn't really rely on the big house for support. That changes the dynamic with Dad. When you don't need financial help, you don't really have to follow the rules the same way. There's definitely some tension there between Dad's traditional way of doing things and Jason's modern approach. Dad is used to having a lot of say in his sons' lives, but Jason draws hard boundaries. But I will say this, a new grandbaby usually softens everything. Even if they disagree on lifestyle stuff or tattoos, Dad loves being a grandpa. I'm hoping this baby will be a bridge between them. But I also know Jason isn't going to compromise on how he wants to parent just to keep the peace. He's going to do it his way. Can't I just talk about me for a second? I am so pumped to be an aunt again. I know, I have like a million nieces and nephews, but it never gets old, especially with Jason. We grew up so close, running around outside, getting into trouble together. Seeing him become a dad feels different. It hits closer to home. My kids, Gideon and Gunnar, love Uncle Jace. He's the fun uncle who wrestles with them. So, for them to have a little cousin to play with is going to be the best. I'm already planning the play dates. And Maddie. She's going to be such a fun mom. I'm already making a list of things I want to get them. Maybe matching outfits for the cousins. I just know that our little corner of the family, the ones of us who hang out a lot, is about to get even louder and crazier. And I am so ready for it. Is it just me, or is there something in the water in Arkansas right now? 2026 is turning into a massive baby boom. First, We had the huge news about Jaina finally having little Archie, which was just the highlight of the year. Then Abby announced she's expecting again. And now Jason and Maddie. It's like the old days when we were all growing up in a pack. But now it's the next generation. These cousins are all going to be so close in age, just like we were. It's actually really special. Even though we are all living separate lives now and doing our own things, these babies bring us back together. The holidays are going to be absolute chaos with all these strollers and diaper bags. But that's the Duggar way, right? I think this new wave of babies is going to bond the siblings again in a way we haven't seen in a few years. All right, let's get into the fun part. Predictions? Knowing Jason and Maddie, I have a gut feeling about this. Usually I look at the old wives' tales, like cravings or how the mom is carrying, but since we're so early, I'm going off vibes. I am leaning heavily toward a girl. Hear me out. Jason is such a guy's guy. He's rough. He builds stuff. He rides bikes. And I feel like God always gives those guys a little girl to completely wrap them around her finger. Can you imagine Jason with a tiny little girl in a pink bow? He would melt. He would be so protective. Maddie has this very sweet feminine style, so a girl would be her little mini-me. But then again, a boy would be Jason 2.0, which would be trouble for the whole world. But my official guess, I'm saying it's going to be a daughter. We talked a bit about Jason being a rebel, but it's deeper than just clothes or music. It's about the mindset. We grew up in the IB Alopecia Institute in Basic Life Principles, which is very strict, very structured. But Jason and Maddie are clearly stepping away from that. You can see it in who they hang out with and the church they go to. They aren't following the Gothard rules of authority, where you have to check with your dad for every life decision. Jason is making decisions based on what's best for his wife and his future family, not what a seminar booklet says. That's a huge deal. It means this baby isn't going to grow up with that same heavy fear of messing up. They're going to grow up in a home that values grace over rules. Seeing my brother break that mold is honestly so refreshing. It makes me excited to see how free this next generation is going to be. Okay, the tattoos. People are obsessed with spotting ink on Jason's arms in his stories. I call this the tattoo theory of parenting. To some people, a tattoo is just art, but in our circle, it's a statement. It says, I own my body, and that mindset is going to translate directly into how he dads. If Jason is willing to mark his skin permanently, it shows he's not afraid of judgment. That is exactly the kind of dad he's going to be. He's going to teach his kid that it's okay to be yourself, even if people stare or whisper. He's not going to panic if his kid wants to dye their hair blue or wear something different. The tattoos are proof that he prioritizes authenticity over appearance. I think he's going to be the dad who says, be who God made you to be, not be who everyone else wants you to be. And that is a powerful lesson for a kid. One thing people don't realize is how hard Jason works. He didn't just inherit a life, he built it. He has his own construction business. He flips houses, and he's really good at it. That financial independence is the key to everything because he pays his own bills. He doesn't have to keep sweet to keep the lights on. He and Maddie can buy whatever car they want, travel wherever they want, and raise their baby however they want. They aren't waiting for a handout from the big house. That freedom changes the power dynamic completely. It means their choices are theirs. If they want to send their kid to a private school or a public school or homeschool, they can decide that without needing approval. That financial cord being cut is the reason they look so happy and relaxed compared to how stressed some of us were starting out. So, where does mom fit into all this? Mom loves babies. That is just a fact. No matter what rules get broken or how modern the kids get, once there is a baby involved, Grandma Michelle is there. I think she's going to be just as involved with Jason's baby as she is with any of ours. But it might look different. She might not be the primary source of parenting advice for Maddie. Maddie has her own mom, and she has her own way of doing things. I think mom is learning to step back and just be grandma instead of the teacher. She'll bring the casseroles, she'll hold the baby, but she won't be setting the schedule. And honestly, I think she likes that. She has so many grandkids now that she can just enjoy the fun parts without the stress of raising them. I can totally see her over at Jason's new house, sitting in the rocker, just happy to hold another grandbaby, regardless of what music is playing in the background. One thing that really tells you about Jason and Maddie's life is who they spend their time with. It's not just family anymore. They have this whole group of friends in Northwest Arkansas who have nothing to do with the show or the IBLP. I see them posting game nights and bonfires with people I don't even know. This friend group is their support system. They are young couples who are starting businesses, traveling, and living modern lives. It's so healthy for them. When this baby comes, they aren't just going to have aunts and uncles. They're going to have this family of friends who are familyed. Maddie seems so comfortable with these girls, and I love that for her. It means she's not isolated. They're going to have baby showers that aren't just church potlucks, and they're going to have play dates that are about fun, not just fellowship. It's a very normal, happy social life, which is exactly what they deserve. Okay, names. This is the hardest part. The Duggar tradition is obviously the letter J, but Jason, I don't think he's going to do it. He's worked so hard to separate himself from the 19 Kids brand that giving his kid a J name feels like a step backward. I think they're going to go with something trendy but classic. Think nature names or old money names. If it's a girl, I can see something like Hazel, Willow, or maybe Olive. If it's a boy, maybe River, Brooks, or Hudson. Something cool. Something that sounds good when you say it out loud. I definitely don't think we're getting Jim Bob Kawhi or Jason Jr. They want this baby to have its own identity from day one. I'm betting money on no Jay. I was talking to Austin about this the other night. Austin and Jason are actually really close. They've worked on construction projects together and bonded over that blue collar work ethic. Austin has a lot of respect for Jason. He told me Jason's going to be a good dad because he's patient. Austin sees how Jason handles stress on a job site. He doesn't blow up. He just solves the problem. That is basically parenting in a nutshell. Austin thinks Jason is going to be the fun dad who builds the epic tree house in the backyard. It's cool to see my husband rooting for my brother like that. They have this silent understanding as guys who married into or grew up in this chaos but are carving out their own paths. Austin is already joking about teaching Jason's kid how to flip houses before they can walk. So, the big question, are we going to see this baby? Jason and Maddie have a YouTube channel, but they post very sporadically. I don't think they're going to be daily vloggers, like some of us have been. They value their privacy way too much. I think they'll do a beautiful cinematic birth video because Jason is so talented with a camera, but then I think they'll pull back. I don't see them exploiting their kid for views. They might share cute milestones on Instagram, but I don't think we'll see the messy day-to-day struggles. They want to protect their peace. And honestly, good for them. They've seen how hard it is to grow up with a camera in your face. I think they're going to be very protective of what they share, keeping the most special moments just for them. As we wrap this up, I just want to say how happy I am for them. Whether this pregnancy news is officially confirmed today or next month, the direction Jason and Maddie are heading is so positive. They are redefining what it means to be a Duggar in 2026. They are proving that you can love God and love your family without losing yourself. They are building a legacy of freedom, hard work, and genuine love. This baby is going to be born into a home that is safe, stable, and full of joy. And as their sister and their aunt, that is all I could ever ask for. So Jason, Maddie, if you're watching this, we love you. We are cheering for you. And we cannot wait to meet the newest member of the family. Keep doing you because it's working. Love you guys.